It's Playing Off the City, your sports news every Friday.
Welcome to Playing Off the City. Thanks for tuning in on this spooky Friday evening. It's your host, Jake.
And Bakari, and today we'll be covering your biggest stories from the NFL, NBA, college football, MLB, and the Champions League. We've got it all covered for you tonight.
You can find us on Instagram and Twitter at Playing Off the City. Jumping right into our first topic, we've got the Lions at 3-3, facing off against the 4-2 Colts on Sunday. What's your thoughts, Bakari?
I'm thinking we can really pull this one off. We've been playing excellent football this year. Even though we've had our 3 losses, I feel like some of those could have definitely been victories. We're starting to get hot. Matthew Stafford, if he stays healthy, is playing really good. DeAndre Swift is playing good. I mean, Kenny Galladay's always been playing good. What else can you want from this team?
Yeah, no, we're on a hot streak right now. We've won 2 games in a row, which is pretty solid. But like you said, our record could look a lot different. You know, we've been up in a few games and we just haven't been able to hold on to that lead. But I think Sunday we'll be able to pull it off against the Colts because we've just been hot recently and we're looking good.
Definitely. I think we can pull it off. I mean, if DeAndre Swift has another big week, or Kenny Galladay has another big week, or Matthew Stafford has another big week, I think we can definitely win this game. The Colts are a good team, don't get it wrong, but the Lions, they look really good this year, so I think we can definitely win this game.
Yeah, I'd agree. And with contributions from rookie running back DeAndre Swift recently, we've been looking like a whole new team. He's been doing it all. He's been receiving a little bit. He's been rushing. He's been like a multi-use back, which is good to see from a guy that's so young. It's really intriguing. I'm wondering how he's going to play out in the future, but I think we're going to pull it out in the end and take the win Sunday.
Oh, yeah, for sure. What's your score predictions?
My score, I think the Lions are going to lead coming into the fourth. I'm going to say 21-7, and they're going to let the Colts come back a little bit, so I'm going to end up 21-28 with the Lions beating the Colts. How about you?
Honestly, I think the Lions are going to win 24-17. By 1 touchdown. It's going to be a close game, but the Lions are going to pull it out in the end.
Yeah, definitely not going to be an easy game for the Lions. If they're going to take this win, it's going to be hard fought.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Up next, the Patriots versus the Bills coming up on Sunday. The Patriots are currently 2-4 while the Bills are 5-2. What you got?
I have the Bills coming out on top, but I don't know. This is a must-win game for the Patriots. They're on that 3-game losing streak. And they really got to turn it around to try and salvage their season, or else who knows what the future of the organization is going to look like. What do you think?
I'm thinking they have to win. This is a must-win. I mean, it's so crazy to look at and see how just a few weeks ago everyone was saying, "Oh, the Patriots are going to the Super Bowl. They're going to do this. They're going to do that." And that the Buccaneers, because they were looking kind of rough at the start, they're not going to. Oh, that Tom Brady always needed Bill Belichick. And all of a sudden, like 3-4 weeks now in the future, now it's just it's vice versa. Now the Patriots are looking in a heap of trouble, and the Buccaneers looking like they could go to the Super Bowl now with the acquisition of Antonio Brown, I believe.
Yeah, the narrative has totally changed. The Patriots are looking good early on, so I honestly believe that. And the Buccaneers have surprised me. I didn't believe in that whole Bruce Arians offense, in my opinion. I didn't think it was going to work out, but their pieces have really been falling into place, and you add another star wide receiver like Antonio Brown, you're only going to get better.
Definitely, and it especially shocked me when they beat the Green Bay Packers. I mean, you and me both predicted the Packers to come out on top in that game, and then all of a sudden, just like that, they started playing their hearts out, and just like that, they took a very good W.
Oh yeah, and it wasn't like a close game between the Packers. The Buccaneers really handed it to them. So Tom Brady's been looking good, and he's looking like fine wine.
MVP candidate. Yeah.
Yeah, it gets better with age,
Yeah, him and LeBron.
The 2 GOATs of their respective games, but I don't know. I think the Patriots are going to end up losing in this game. I forgot what you said. Do you predict the Bills or the Patriots?
I didn't say anything actually, but I think I had the Bills coming out on top in this game. They look a little too strong for me with the Patriots. I don't know. They just don't look too strong. The Patriots don't look too good to me right now.
Yeah, I'd agree. The Bills are leading their division, and Josh Allen's been playing great. He's a solid quarterback. They look like they got it all together over there in Buffalo.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Alrighty, and after the break, we're switching over to the NBA. We got a G League team coming to Michigan, and
Yes, sir.
and free agents for the upcoming 2020 season. We'll get right back with you.
Vaping is safer than smoking, isn't it?
One vape pod has as much nicotine as one pack of cigarettes. Get your head out of the cloud. Talk to your kid about vaping. Visit talkaboutvaping.org. Brought to you by the American...
All right, welcome back to the show. Up next is the Pistons, name a G League franchise, the Motor City Cruise. What do you think?
It's nice. Obviously I don't watch much of the G League, but it's good to have development for your team. So I think it'll help. You get those undrafted guys, those second round picks that kind of need to develop before they're ready for the league. So having a team like the Motor City Cruise, it'll be entertaining.
Oh, yeah, and they're right by. I mean, they're going to be in Wayne State. Wayne State's what, like a 25 minute drive from here?
Yeah, it's close. It's in the Metro Detroit area, so it'll be nice to see some games. As much as it's cool to watch the NBA, sometimes it's fun to watch other levels of basketball.
Oh yeah, for sure. And it's close, so why not?
Why not? Yeah, I'd agree.
Why not let it fly?
All right, moving on. We have NBA free agency this summer. It's not a huge summer. I'm pretty sure the big free agency summer next is going to be 21.
Yeah, I believe.
And that's going to have like Giannis, Kawhi,
Paul George, LeBron.
Paul George, LeBron, those big name guys. So this year it's not as star-studded, but you still got solid pieces. You got Brandon Ingram, but he's restricted, so he still might go back to the Pelicans. Fred VanVleet, Danilo Gallinari, and Montrezl Harrell. What do you think?
Man, if it's me, I mean, we're currently in the rebuilding process. I'm not going to be out here throwing big contracts to anyone. I mean, especially since next season there's going to be a really good class. There's no reason to go out there and try to throw, big money at Fred VanVleet or something after he didn't really have the best playoffs this year. I mean, I know it was kind of like a mix of just the whole team didn't play too well in that Celtics series, but man, it's just not smart, throwing all that money at someone right now when we're rebuilding.
Yeah,
I mean, we already have one max with Blake Griffin, so why? Like, it's not smart to throw another one. You know what I mean?
No, I'd agree. I think since we're in that rebuilding phase, we don't really need to win games. That's like the last thing we want to do. We want to get young and get better that way. But honestly, I could see our GM trying to pursue Fred VanVleet because, in my opinion, if we wait till the next summer, I don't think we're going to be able to contend for those big stars. We're not going to get a Kawhi, a Paul George to come to Detroit. That's not really the ideal landing spot. So I could see us taking a gamble on a guy like Montrezl Harrell, Fred VanVleet, throwing a little bit of cash at them and trying to bring them in for the team.
Yeah, and especially with the way it seems like the direction we're going to, it seems like we want to play hard. Like, we don't necessarily want the big stars. We just want guys who will come here, play hard week in, week out. Like, those are the type of guys you'll get with, like, Christian Wood, Montrezl Harrell, all those guys are in this class. So, I don't know, maybe. I'm not sure.
Yeah, possibly. And, yeah, like you said, we got that culture, so I think getting young, I think Fred VanVleet wouldn't be a terrible pickup, but ideally I'd rather us go in another direction, save the cap space.
Oh, yeah. I understand what you're saying.
Mm-hmm. Already, and coming up after the break, we're switching over to college football. We got a big interstate matchup, Michigan versus Michigan State, and Clemson quarterback Trevor Lawrence out with COVID. That's going to be big. So
yikes.
That we'd made a breakthrough on COVID-19, we would rejoice. We'd feel hope that we could live our lives again, get back to work, back to doing what we want. Well, masks are a ticket to that freedom. We can help protect others and save lives by covering our noses and mouths, which is how the virus mainly spreads. Until there's a vaccine, grab the breakthrough that's already here. When we're out, it's masks on. A message to help keep you safe. Brought to you by the Ad Council.
So this Saturday, college football showdown, MSU versus U of M. Who you got?
I got my Michigan Wolverines coming out on top. They look really good last week
sure.
against Minnesota.
They're
Minnesota
scary.
didn't play the best, but Michigan was still looking good. I like Joe Milton. He's played great that game. What are your thoughts?
I'm thinking it's over, man. I don't even bring the question to me. It's over. Don't even bring the question. Michigan is gonna win. If Michigan State pulls it off, I'm gonna be very, very, very surprised. I mean, I'm gonna give them a lot of respect. But
yeah, I'd be shocked to see them win, especially losing to Rutgers like that. I know they got they got that new head coaching situation, so they kind of got a little excuse. But that's just, in my opinion, that's a little embarrassing.
That's inexcusable. You cannot be losing to Rutgers, like a team who hasn't even won a game in the Big Ten in what?
So long. It's
Literally
not
hasn't
looking
won
good for
a
the
game in
Sparties,
years.
but Michigan's on a 2-game winning streak, so I think they'll increase it to 3. But it's looking like Michigan's gonna be tough this year. I forget what we're ranked in the AP poll.
13.
13, but we're definitely climbing, and I think Joe Milton's he looks like a good quarterback. You know, recent years we've had Dylan McCaffrey, we've had Shea Patterson. They haven't been the greatest, but I think Joe Milton's like the future of our program.
Yeah, definitely. And just so people understand, I do not support either side, Michigan State. I'm just, from what I'm observing, I see that Michigan, they destroyed a team last week, so they should have no problems against Michigan State, who can't even beat Rutgers. Like, who are Rutgers? Where's Rutgers from? Sorry, guys. Sorry, my Michigan State fans. Yeah. So
I know what you're saying. I'm gonna be. Hey, I don't care. All right, and
I mean, yeah,
on,
you're a 100% Michigan fan, so I understand. Like, you could talk, but I mean, I don't support anybody. So.
No, I know what you're saying.
What do you think the score is gonna be?
The score?
Yeah, score predictions.
If I had to choose, geez, this is tough. I'm never good with scores. It's just hard to put a number on it.
Same.
But I don't think it's gonna be close. I'm gonna say 49.
Ooh.
To 14.
Ooh, that's a mighty prediction. You know, the thing is with rival games is that even when one rival is better, like, you know, just like having like that game, like that atmosphere, is like it's gonna always, like, they're always gonna bring out their best versions of each other. So I think that though I still see Michigan winning, I think it's not gonna be too close, but I do see it being like 45 to 24.
Yeah, no, I could definitely see that. But yeah, we both see Michigan coming out on top. They just looked like the better team the first week. Who knows though?
Yeah, the question is if they'll be able to put up 24 points or so against that Michigan defense.
Yeah, you never know. Sometimes in those rivalry games, stuff happens.
Crazy stuff like that one incident a few years ago. I know you probably don't want to hear about it.
Oh man, I don't want to talk about that, bro.
Yeah.
The muffed punt.
That was embarrassing, but we don't even have to talk about that. We could talk about something. We could talk about the next topic.
Yeah, I think we should move on. That might be better. We got Clemson quarterback Trevor Lawrence coming down with COVID. Not looking good for them. What do you think?
No, it's not looking good at all. I mean, luckily, one of their games is against Boston College, and I don't know how good Boston College is, but I don't think that'll be much of a struggle no matter who's playing that game, so it shouldn't be that big of a problem. But the week after, they're playing Notre Dame. Now that's gonna be tough without their best player. Notre Dame, they're number 4 in the country, I believe. So
yeah,
it's it's not gonna be easy for it's not gonna be easy for them against Notre Dame. I don't know. I don't know who's gonna win. I don't know who will come out on top, but it's gonna be a tough game without their best player.
Yeah, I'd agree. I think, like you said, this first week matchup against Boston College isn't going to be too much of a challenge for Clemson. They still got a loaded team outside of Lawrence.
Yeah, they
But
got a loaded offensive line with like all the wide receivers and stuff.
yeah, they got a good offensive unit. They got some good skilled players, but I'm not too familiar with the NCAA's policy on COVID and how much you have to wait out, what kind of
Pretty
tests
sure
you
it's like
need.
about 2 weeks or so.
It's 2 weeks. So I
Something
don't know
like that.
what qualifies him to go back. Like if you need a test like a day before, 2 days before, or
Oh,
whatever.
it might be a day. I mean, cause from reading the reports I saw, it was like he would miss these 2 games and then he might be eligible for the game afterwards. So that makes me think it's probably like it might be just like 2 3 days before.
Yeah, I'm not too sure, but yeah, you don't have Trevor Lawrence against number 4 Notre Dame. It could get ugly. I'm not too familiar with Clemson's backup quarterbacks, but they're nowhere near the level of Trevor Lawrence,
Oh yeah,
top five
he's incredible.
pick in the top 5 prospect for the NFL. It's going to be a challenge. They're going to have to adjust, but Dabo's a crafty coach, so
Oh yeah,
we'll
he's a
just
good
have to
coach.
see.
Great guy.
We'll have to see what he can pull together, you know. I don't think they're going to give up. And we'll be right back for our final segment. We're going to go to the MLB, Dodgers winning the World Series, and skip over to Champions League as well. We're going to bring those two categories together, and we'll see you after the
Adopt US
commercial.
Kids presents What to Expect When You're Expecting a Teenager. Learning the lingo.
Jelly. Jelly adjective. Jelly is a shorter, better way to say jealous. As in, Chloe, I am like so jelly of your unicorn phone case.
You don't have to speak teen to be a perfect parent. Thousands of teens in foster care will love you just the same. Visit adoptuskids.org, brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, Adopt US Kids, and the Ad Council.
Welcome back here on our final segment of Playing Off the City. This is with the MLB and the Champions League.
AJ Hinch is close to an agreement to be the Tigers' new manager, and that's definitely gonna help after being at the bottom of the league the last year. So hopefully he can help turn it around and bring some pride back to Detroit baseball.
Definitely. And this past week, the MLB season actually came to an end with the Dodgers coming up on top against the Tampa Bay Rays 4-2. I was excited. I mean, one of my favorite players, I don't know many baseball players, but one of my favorite players, Clayton Kershaw, he won his championship. Mookie Betts, it was cool to see. Just good vibes all around.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, after the series was tied 2-2, I wasn't sure who was going to come out on top. They were looking pretty even. But, the Dodgers are a talented team. And the one interesting thing about the series, I was watching a little bit on ESPN, they're talking about how they're like the two different ways you can build a team. So you got the Dodgers, LA, you got a big market. They used a bunch of cap this year. They signed Clayton Kershaw, Mookie Betts, all those star-studded players, and that's how they got to the World Series. And then you got the Rays, who did the opposite. They only used like $30 million on cap this year.
Probably like.
Yeah, so they couldn't get those stars like the Dodgers did, but building up through the draft, player development, scouting, that's how they made their path to the World Series. So I thought it was kind of interesting to see like the two theories clash.
Yeah, I mean that's pretty much it with all sports, Like, you'll have like in basketball and football, you'll have the big teams, Kansas City, and football, you'll have the LA Lakers in basketball. You'll have all those teams, that they're just like they just look good, They're beautiful cities. All the big guys, like all the big stars want to play there, Everybody's just going to want to go there. Like you don't even have to talk to them twice. They're just going to be like, "Yeah, I'm on. I want to go." And then, you have the smaller cities that not everybody likes, and they're just smaller market teams. Like a great example is like the Denver Nuggets. Like they've never really had like they've never been able to pick up a great player.
Yeah, they haven't signed a great player. Although they had Carmelo Anthony, that's who they drafted. But
Yeah, they drafted him.
As for signing people, I know what you're saying. They don't get those stars.
Yeah, the only one they got was a aging Paul Millsap, But other than that, they've from that Carmelo trade to New York, they were able to draft, a bunch of guys like Jamal Murray came off of that. We drafted Gary Harris, Will Barton, like just a bunch of. Actually, I don't think Will Barton was drafted by the Nuggets. Sorry, but Michael Porter Jr., Bull, a lot of these guys, is just the hard work of these front offices to build teams that can compete. It's really nice to watch. These teams, especially that are like Tampa Bay and like Denver, that don't necessarily have the power to bring all these guys over, and they're just like
succeeding.
Yeah, they're succeeding. They're finally, maybe they're not winning, but their time will come. Their time will come.
Yeah, it's good to see teams like that win. It's kind of like the underdog story, but yeah, you've always got
and everybody loves a good underdog story.
You've got your big market teams. It's all about the cities. You got L.A., Chicago, New York. That's where people want to be, but also it changes like time to time. Like for a while, Golden State's a big free agency like landing
Yeah, but
place.
that's the thing. Like people
And they
only
used
wait.
to be a small market.
Yeah, they were a small market too.
And
Because a lot of people, my bad for interrupting,
go.
but a
You
lot
can
of
go.
people, they like to hate on the Warriors. But the Warriors, they built their team.
Yeah, they
but
did
I
fair
know,
and square.
yeah, before Kevin Durant came on that team, they didn't really have any big names. Steph Curry drafted, Klay Thompson drafted, Draymond Green drafted. Like all these guys were just drafted from the bottom to the top.
Yeah, it's nice to see a team that wins that way. You're usually going to have your favorites, like the LAs, like the Lakers this year. It's kind of hard to bet against them. But when you see a team like who they played in the finals, the Heat, who really weren't supposed to make it there, and they got all those young guys that they just got from drafted, aside from Jimmy Butler, it's kind of cool to see.
Yeah, they're like the Heat are like in the middle, like between, a small market and a big market. They can bring over like some of the bigger guys, but they can't pull those guys. Like they can't pull like a LeBron. Well, okay, they can, but
That's funny that you said that.
yeah, they can pull a LeBron.
They can pull a LeBron.
Obviously, he went there, but I'm saying like, cause they had somebody there to like, they had people there that LeBron wanted to play with.
Yeah, that was all about like the pieces around. Like Miami's a nice place to live, but you got D Wade there, and you got Chris Bosh coming too. I think that makes it a better deal.
Yeah, exactly. But at the time, like Jimmy Butler, like when he went there, like there wasn't like a Dwayne Wade type of dude on the Heat roster. Like it was just a bunch of young dudes that was ready to ball.
Yeah, that's how it is sometimes.
Yeah, for sure. And
All right.
Congratulations, hats off to LA as a city. They've won 2 championships in just a month or so. Like
Yeah, less than a month apart, I think.
less than a month. So, congratulations to them.
Yeah, they're definitely living their best life. It's great to see your city win. It's been a while for Detroit, but you win in the
One day.
MLB and in the NBA. I'm pretty sure they're partying pretty hard.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Already, and for our final topic, we're talking about Champions League.
Yeah.
We had a matchup of Juventus versus Barcelona, with Barcelona coming out on top 2-0. What was your thoughts?
I was happy. Barcelona isn't my number 1 team, but if we're talking between the two, Barcelona was my team for that game, and I was so happy. Something that a lot of people have been doing lately is criticizing Ousmane Dembele. He's had his injuries. He was out for like a year, and like people were just rough on him. So it was really cool to see him get on the score sheet in a big game. Messi scored. It was a penalty, but where no one's complaining, a goal's a goal.
Yeah, goal's a
Ronaldo,
goal.
Unfortunately, he wasn't able to play, but hopefully he's able to play for the return fixture in a month or 2. So
Yeah, it wasn't. You can go ahead.
I was just saying, good vibes all around.
No, it was a fun game to watch, but it was definitely disappointing that Ronaldo couldn't play. you'd like to see those two GOATs match up against each other one last time, but hopefully, like you said the Juventus and Barcelona have another matchup, or?
Yeah, back in Barcelona, because this one was in Italy.
Okay. All right, so hopefully by then he'll be good. I mean, I'm assuming. So it'll
he
be
should
nice.
be.
Yeah, it'll be cool to see them play one more time. And if you want to see more Champions League, you can tune in this Tuesday at 3 p.m. Eastern Time.
Yeah, tune in. Make sure to watch it. It's pretty interesting this year. Lots of surprising results. So, yeah, make sure to tune in.
Entertaining football.
Yeah.
What about Bayern? Did they have a game?
Yeah, Bayern played this past week. Actually, I think they won 2-1. They barely won, actually. It was a surprise.
Yeah,
it was
that
surprising.
was kind of surprising. Yeah.
Yeah, because they didn't play the strongest team, so seeing them only win 2-1, you're just kind of there like, really?
They played, I'm not going to get this right, Lokomotiv Moscow.
Yeah, Lokomotiv. Yeah, from Russia. It's kind of surprising, like a team like Bayern, you'd think, especially after they beat Atletico Madrid last week 4-0, you'd think that they'd come out here and win like 7-0 or something. But they only won 2-1. It was a scrappy game. They didn't score till late. It's a little surprising, but
yeah, that's what I thought too.
Sometimes wins are going to be ugly. Sometimes wins are going to be nice. Like, you're not always going to win how you envision. So it's just the one that matters at the end of the day.
Yeah, when I saw that 2-1 final, I was kind of surprised. Bayern is a team that has a good reputation, especially they won last season's Champions League.
Yep.
They finished off PSG in the final, and they beat what? Didn't they beat Barcelona 7-1 on their road to 8-2 on their road to the championship? So they're a good team. Robert Lewandowski. So I was kind of confused, but everyone has an off day, like you said, so who knows what was going on.
Yeah, definitely. You're not always gonna get the best version of your team, so it's just a good thing that they won. Hopefully, they turn up for their next game next week. Well, this upcoming week, and they could just continue on their winning streak.
Yeah, for sure. Alrighty, well, if you're here still, thanks for sticking with us at the end. And once again, you can find us at Playing Off the City on Instagram and Twitter. And going back to DJ Freeway, 89.1 FM, The Exile Radio.